Hello and welcome inside the Detroit City Fieldhouse for tonight's MASL W League matchup between Detroit City FC and Indiana United FC. My name is Jarrett Mackey alongside David Dwayhe. Dave, it's great to be back on headset with you, I'm not going to lie.
I have been looking forward to this since the last game of last season.
When that went away, and obviously with your duties as USL W League head coach, it was going to be a long winter, despite the fact that it was the spring, the summertime, the fall, and now back in the winter, we're back here on the headset for what should be a really fun match between two sides that have had different starts to the season so far at MASL W League play.
Really looking forward to this one. It's been a minute since we've gotten to watch our women play here and cheer them on, and an amazing environment as always at the Fieldhouse tonight. The stage is set.
And we were talking about this, off camera a little bit. It really has been a long time since these women have taken the pitch here at the Fieldhouse, but overall there's been no away matches since the last time we were here. There was that game, of course, that was moved for the Lions. The schedule's been moved around a little bit, so at the end of the day, just really good to see the ball back on the turf inside of the Fieldhouse.
For sure, for sure.
This Detroit City FC team off to a 2-0 start to begin the season. Both wins coming over Kalamazoo United. That's a fun, little quirk to the schedule this year. There seems to be a lot of back-to-back matches against teams, with the next game for these women being against Indiana United right here next weekend.
Yep, yeah, you quick turnaround. You get to know your opponent once and then play them again and see how things change. But kind of a nice opportunity for the women tonight to have a fresh opponent. Two teams that have never squared up.
And as a player, Dave, a former player like yourself, is there anything different when you're playing a team for the second time back-to-back, or is it kind of just, you're out there playing the sport?
It's a great question. I think, there's certainly going to be some element of, depending on how the last result went, it's hard to forget that.
Get revenge sort of thing?
Yeah, I think both teams have a different motivation potentially, but...
Indiana United starting off with the ball, and Aaron Pass going to go off of the boards. Good press there by Claire Celino and Tatiana Mason. Katie Coleman looking to win an interception deep in Indiana's half. It's going to be won back by Tatiana Mason. A great ball over the top from Claire Celino into the path of Kayla Addison. Addison takes a shot, goes off of the boards and comes back out.
What a ball that was from Claire Celino.
And the vision to find that ball, we could see it from up here, but we're 20 feet above the field. It's going to be cleared away, not as far as they would have liked by Indiana United, but a lucky bounce off of Megan Miles sees the visitors have some possession on the ball. Now it'll be a 3-on-3 situation coming into the third zone. Left-footed shot's going to come in off of the boards. Megan Miles is over to deal with it. That one's going to come all the way across. Would have put Gabby Shriver on her toes right there, but it stays with Indiana United. Back out to the top of the point. Right-footed ball goes off of the boards. Claire Celino doing a good job to press the Indiana United forward. Going to come all the way back here. That shot's going to come in. Shriver's going to get a touch on it, and that'll be a goal to the visitors to get things started. And knowing Gabby Shriver the way that we all do, she'll want that one back.
Absolutely, yeah. She's a competitor. She's an incredible goalkeeper. That's a really unfortunate goal to give up. But she demands the highest standards of herself, and she'll respond well, no doubt.
And before then, Detroit City FC did have a couple of good chances in Indiana. You couldn't have asked for a better start from the visitors, especially coming into an environment like this and getting on the board first and early.
Yeah, I think that's what you hope to do, kind of survive that initial onslaught. Kayla Addison with a great breakaway opportunity, great save from their goalie, and that's how soccer works. Sometimes looks like it's going to be your night, and then things change a bit. So now a little bit of adversity for the Detroit City women.
Addison's going to get it back. It's going to come all the way back to Fatima Nasser. Interesting, last year Fatima Nasser was kind of deployed more of an attacking midfield attacking role, and when I got the roster this year and saw she was playing defense, I was a little bit surprised, but if you have her talents and the way she can read the arena game, I guess it doesn't matter where she's at out there.
I thought the same thing, yeah. She's listed as a defender. Clearly she's playing in a more defensive position, but I do think, especially in the indoor game, she's going to get forward plenty.
That one crosses the line nearly. It goes across, and Hannah Crum's going to probably wish we had goal line technology for that one, but it's going to into the hands of delight for the Indiana United goalkeeper. Good to see Hannah Crum out there on the pitch for Detroit City FC. One of the most fun players to watch, whether we're inside in the arena or outside at Keyworth Stadium on the W League side.
She's a very uniquely talented player, tremendous with her attacking abilities, and like you said, a lot of fun to watch. She brings something very unique to the game.
What was it like coaching a player like that with such a broad skill set like Hannah Crum displayed both in the arena here and then outdoor in the USLW League season?
She's a ton of fun. She's got an amazing personality, always happy and bright, and bringing her teammates into things. And on the field, I think she just has such a collection of qualities. She can beat you with a long shot. She can set up a teammate. Defensively, she's extremely capable, tough in the tackle. When you're defending a one-goal lead, she knows how to see it through. She really just brings a little bit of everything. I kind of thought of her in many ways as our X factor throughout the summer, and it was really neat to see her find the success that she found.
That one's going to come in. Shriver's going to get a strong palm on that one and push it back out to the boards. Detroit City FC still some defending to do here off of the foul. Great step there by Fatima Nasser to take it away from the attacker that was trying to press her back to win the ball. Sort of just dumped into the area there by Isabella Sabo. Pressure from her, and Crum now is going to come all the way back from an attacking position to win that ball back in the midfield. Hannah Crum now charging forward, a clever layoff with the right foot there to find Sabo. Sabo's going to have it dispossessed from her, and Indiana United now back onto the ball with just under 11 and a half left in this first quarter. Visitors off to an early start with an early lead.
Indiana players not afraid to leave their feet. They've been very tough in the tackle, very aggressive defensively tonight.
Great job there to win it back in a very advanced position for Detroit City FC. That one's going to be played all the way across and played back inside. You can see what was trying to be executed there, just maybe a little bit too
I like that, though.
Slow on that one.
That was the beginning of something awesome. Just didn't quite play out.
I like that. You should trademark that. That's pretty good.
Thanks. I'll try it again later, see if it...
I hope you remember that one. If we forget that one, then we've lost the plot, honestly.
That's right. I'll remember.
Shannon McCarthy now on the ball. Of course, won the Mini Football World Cup with the United States over in Croatia. What a cool opportunity that was for her. That came from the visibility that she got playing from the Detroit City FC indoor team last year. Yeah. And a combine, impressed at a combine as well.
Super fun to hear about her success in that realm. I mean, she's got a storied professional career, and for her to continue it in this form is no doubt exciting for her, but we're all very proud, and it's bringing a lot of positive light on the club. And
we're not at all shocked with her skill set. That was a great ball by Tatiana Mason.
Great pass from Tot.
And that was just into the path of Anya Dow, and what a great save that was by the Indiana United goalkeeper. Sort of an errant touch there by Eliza Barron. Does well to track back, though. Barron and McCarthy were in between the Indiana United striker and Gabby Shriver in goal. Didn't end up getting to Gabby Shriver because of the lockdown defense that Barron was playing on that occasion. McCarthy plays it forward.
Nice.
Great play here.
Nice.
Anya Dow's going to be in some space in front of the goal. Elects not to shoot. Tried to poke it back inside to Amanda Britton. Instead, it's going to come back out to Shannon McCarthy. Referee's having a conversation here.
Good sportsmanship from Shannon there, keeping her foot on the ball so the player could get the attention she needs.
Injured player, never like to see that, especially that looked like a non-contact situation, so we're going to hope the best here.
Yeah, always scary when it's a knee or an ankle. You worry it was an awkward step that might have been troublesome for that joint.
It's been a quick start, these first 7 minutes here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Obviously the last game we were both here, took it on hand, but you forget how quick it is until you're having to talk about it, Dave.
Yeah, it's nonstop. The boards keep it in for the most part. Players are changing on the fly. It's a completely different sport to what they're used to for those who play, summer 11-on-11 outside, and just like probably really exciting and fun to have that kind of a shift in the pace of the game and the style.
There was a lot of talk last year about how, Detroit City FC adding this to their programming of teams would help out the outdoor USLW League team as the beneficiary of that with being the head coach last summer. Did you see that reaping the rewards once they got out to outdoor?
Absolutely. I think if nothing else, just the fact that you had a group of players, the ones who aren't in college, kind of coming in a little, they were naturally sort of sharp and fit from the indoor season, but just in terms of the locker room, the way they came in, there was a collective quality right away where they were used to each other. There was a real inclusive vibe for the college players that came in, and I think just in terms of developing team chemistry during a very short season, it really accelerated that process for us, and we benefited.
And what a year it was. I mean, you really haven't been too much on the record talking about it. Obviously, to lose in the national semifinal in that way was probably a tough pill to swallow. I don't want to make you relive anything on air, but just talk about overall the season and how you saw it from down there on the touchline.
Yeah, I think about it often. It was, it's heartbreaking to lose in a national semifinal by a single goal that was scored in essentially injury time. So, we were close to overtime and potentially penalties, and who knows how that would have all gone. So you definitely have moments where you think what could have been. But I spend 99.9% of my time thinking about what was, and all the great moments and the great wins and the great, like I was just saying, the locker room was fantastic. The togetherness of the team, really, really fun to be around it and to be at the helm. And I think, it's always a little bit more fun when you're winning and getting results. So that certainly added a layer to the experience. But mostly just the fact that we had such a competitive group and they were able to achieve something that they had set out to achieve.
Yeah, and I don't know how your feelings are, but I can't wait until, obviously the schedule's not out yet, but we have an idea,
Yep.
May, June,
Yep.
July, that's sort of the gambit that those outdoor teams play in, and we're all waiting for that late May, early June start for the women this summer. That one's going to come across to Kayla Addison and her
ball.
touch. There was a really good job by the goalkeeper to come off of her line to put off Addison, and we were stopped for, 5 minutes right there? And right after the restart,
Picks
Detroit
right
City FC has a shot on target.
Yeah, great ball from Katie Coleman there to find Addie.
Good pressure there by Megan Miles. Detroit City FC's line is definitely more advanced than it had been to start the game. Wonder if that was a coaching tweak by Danny Evans in that huddle. A great ball forward by Eliza Barron, Megan Miles. We sort of see what the equation's going to be for Detroit City FC in this one. As a math teacher, I'm sure you're fired up about me saying the word equation.
I am.
But look forward, look for Kayla Addison and just try to feed her the ball.
Yeah, and so far 2 or 3, including that one over the top from Claire Ciarlino, like a little bit of directness against the team in Indiana that's maybe playing a higher line and has a little bit of space in behind them. I think that's the way Detroit's going to look to create chances here. And when you got an athlete and a goal scorer like Kayla Addison, you take advantage of that weapon.
Good job there by Detroit City FC to play the ball along the back line. Claire Salino now looking to break forward. She had 2 goals and an assist last time out at the Fieldhouse against Kalamazoo United. Detroit City FC wins a foul right there. Took it maybe just a little bit too quickly for the referee's liking. Not sure which referee. Of course, there's 2 down there on the field at all times. That'd be crazy if the outdoor had 2. Obviously, there's 4, but, you know.
That'd be half of that.
Serlino's going to go for it. I meant 2 on the field at the same time.
Oh, like 2 center refs.
Yeah, 2 center referees. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Good win from Megan Miles there.
Great job by Megan Miles there. And she's going to keep it alive. Sure, we had a lucky bounce there, but in arena soccer, you'd be shocked how much luck plays into it. And what a shot that is!
What a hit.
And a goal for Detroit City FC. The equalizer comes in. Not sure who that was.
I think it was Katie Coleman with the left foot.
It looked like it could have been Katie Coleman, but regardless, whoever it was, that was a rocket of a strike from Katie Coleman.
What a hit.
And just like that, we're level at 1-1 at the Fieldhouse, and the crowd loved that one.
Yep. You could see it's almost more relief than celebration for Detroit City. I think they just knew that they needed to get that first one, and now I'm sure they'll feel like they can really roll.
It's a brand new game now.
Yep.
We're back to a brand new game, and that was a great shot there by Chris Mills on the camera. You see that the crowd was so excited, the flag flew off the flagpole on that one.
That's the kind of effect Chris Mills has sometimes. That guy is dynamic.
So hopefully whoever brought that flag can get that rectified.
Yeah.
But that's how exciting that goal was. That's how high octane these matches are. You got flags flying off flagpoles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just there's a physical symbol of how crazy it is in here right now.
I mean, the force in that arm to swing that flag in such a way that would knock the flag off the pole, it has to be studied.
Yeah, there's some physics behind that, I'm sure.
Nasser playing it forward. It's out wide to Sabo. Sabo's going to play it back across to Mason. Tatiana Mason dribbling in. Lays it off back to Sabo. To Fenn now. Left-footed ball over. Bounces off the walls. Mason, a really clever play there from Mason. And when you're playing arena, you have to have this extra level of intelligence, reading the angles of the ball coming off of the wall.
Yep, it happens so fast. You can tell like the more experienced players all have that in common, where they're actually sort of using the boards in certain ways, and to be able to react more quickly off that and get a shot off. Very, very impressive.
So Detroit City FC and Indiana United now all leveled up at 1-1 with 6:20 left in the first quarter. I'm Jarrett Mackey alongside David Dwahey. Thank you guys for tuning into this one as Detroit City FC looks to improve to 3-0 to start the season. Their second year of arena, the first year in the MASL W League. Indiana now into a dangerous position. That one's going to come across. Shriver's off of her line, and a great job there by both Sabo and Shriver to extinguish the danger on that one. Shriver's going to set that one down and just blast it forward. We might see that was a clever line change from Detroit City FC right there.
Yeah, almost put that ball from Gabby Shriver, almost put Karina Medina in on goal. Just good defensive header from the Indiana back line.
Karina Medina jumped off of the boards at the right time for that one, and that one's going to be played across the right foot, and shot's going to come in. There's a little bit of a tangle in the box, but eventually held on to by the opposition goalkeeper, who will look to break forward and try to restore their 1-goal lead. Of course, their goal coming in I believe it was the first minute of the match, as Shriver's going to come off of her line to play this one. And I thought she'd be pressured more in that situation.
Yeah, you wonder if...
And I think she did too, but she stopped and was just kind of like, I'll hang out for a second if you let me.
Adjusted well there.
Karina Medina on the ball, right-footed ball over the top, looking for Amanda Britton, but safely into the hands of the Indiana United goalkeeper, who's had to make a couple great saves so far to her credit. Ooh, great job there by Shannon McCarthy to make herself long to win that ball. Barrett now is going to play a left-footed ball. That's a great ball and nearly found the feet of Shannon McCarthy, who's dispossessed.
A lot of almosts for City with that ball over the top. I feel like Indiana's done well to clear them, but all it takes is like a little more loft, and they're going to get in behind them.
And the almost shows that the success could be there, and it's just maybe the case of a pass or two going the other way. Top of the area now. That one nearly went into their own net. Detroit City FC still retains possession, and Indiana's fourth of the pitch. Shannon McCarthy, top of the area. She's going to go down. A little bit of contact, drew the foul there. Referee's we'll see a timeout on the field. So since the equalizer, it has been Detroit City FC that's kind of been asking all the questions.
Very much so. I think the field has tilted in their favor. Indiana at this point looking to sneak something on the counter, but I think for the most part, Detroit's carrying the tempo and the possession.
A great crowd on hand yet again here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. We got a ton of people watching up in the Detroit City Clubhouse. Shout out to them.
Yep.
Everyone on hand and taking part in this incredible atmosphere as we all are looking forward to being outside in a couple weeks.
No doubt. Huge shout out to the clubhouse staff.
Oh, it's a
friendly.
Oh my God! The best customer service.
Good music. Good
the best
food.
Customer service in the country.
If anybody is considering a visit to the Detroit City Fieldhouse and heading upstairs to the Detroit City Clubhouse, I would highly recommend it.
It seems like the best option always, and if you're considering coming out to I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, it's good every single time. So you'll see celebrities, you'll see Dave Dwahey walking around there most nights. I
appreciate you saying that.
Crazy.
I will be there, but I don't know that celebrity is the right descriptor.
I said star first, and then I said celebrity, so whatever one you want to pick.
I really appreciate that. Your kindness is washing over me right now.
And we'll see a free kick from Detroit City FC in Indiana United's fourth of the pitch.
I always like these because you get to see, this is the training ground moment. See what they've cooked up.
Mason plays it in Addison. Addison on the turn. Wow. They're going to say no goal. They're saying no goal.
Say no goal
on that one.
That was a well-executed, beautiful turn.
What's funny is Chris Mills is usually the light guy. But now he's on camera tonight because he's a man of all trades. He's a talented guy.
Yep.
I don't know if he would have been put off by that almost goal. I'm sure whoever's doing that's great.
Yep.
But I yet to be seen. Let's see how it goes on this next one.
But I think to your point, Chris Mills.
But I love the tenacity of whoever turned that light off.
Yeah, they were. I mean, in some ways, you wonder like, hey, does that just like convince the ref to just let the thing stand?
It's like if the people behind the goal celebrate, is it a goal?
Right.
Versus, yeah. And I bet that plays into it. But good job on the referee. That one's going to come in. And Megan Miles gives Detroit City FC a 2-1 lead. What a strike from Megan Miles to give LaRouge their first lead of the night.
Take a bow, Megan Miles. What a hit.
Some rockets being scored here tonight at the Fieldhouse.
Amazing. That was
Wow.
The way that entered the back of the net suggested an unsavable arrowed strike.
And you got to give a lot of credit to Dan Davies, the Fieldhouse maintenance guy, for making sure that those nets can withstand this kind of force in these shots.
I give a lot of credit to Dan Davies for having the double D initials. And then I'm going to double down and agree with you that the way those nets are holding up, it's...
What was really impressive, folks, I hope people picked up on this at home. He said, the double D initials, and then he said double down, which is also, I don't know if you meant that.
That was inadvertent.
Okay. He says that, folks, but I think he's that calculated in all of his movements, David Dwayhe, who also double D initial, Danny Dicchio.
Yep.
That's all I got,
we got
honestly.
a lot of double D energy.
That's all I got.
In Detroit City FC right now.
Doubling down.
Yep.
Doubling down.
We're going to double down on that.
As Detroit City FC doubled their goal tally just seconds ago. Some pressure now as Indiana United has to now, for the first time tonight, kind of fight from the back foot.
Just want to praise Kayla Addison for her tracking back defensive effort there. That's you got your goal scoring forward.
And another, I think they're going to, was that a goal from Indiana United?
I think so.
And that one bounced in a way that it was sort of, you couldn't tell if it was going to be a goal or not, but clearly it was as the body movement on the field. So they weren't down for long, and this fight from the visitors is really impressive so far, Dave.
Yeah, they've showed a lot of character going down a goal. I thought they might really start to struggle after having been up, but showed some character there. I don't know what happened on that shot. From our angle, it must have just snuck under Gabby Shriver. She seemed to be in the right spot.
And that's a collector's item. When Gabby Shriver doesn't make a save that she'll feel like she should make, that's really a collector's item because we know how talented she is. She's a great goalkeeper both in this arena and at at Keyworth outside and has been her whole career. So she'll definitely want those two back, and that just shows her competitive nature and knowing that she probably could do better on those two. Yeah,
she is she's a city stalwart. I mean, one of the recognized as a top goalkeeper in the USLW League this past summer.
Black Arrow winner.
Yep.
The accolades go on and on.
Really, really impressive resume at this point, but most importantly, her leadership and quality in goal is second to none.
As Indiana United here one more time, it's one-on-one, but a great job by Alexandria Tefend to get back and play some defense on that one.
So good. And it's funny that you mention her last name so quickly before mentioning defense. I was unsure of how to pronounce Ali Tiefend. I always said Tiefend. She said, no, it rhymes with defend.
Oh, really? It does? Okay.
So you're saying it correctly.
Okay.
And I got to get it out of my head that it's Tiefend because that's how I originally thought of it.
Because part of me just wanted it to be Tefend because it sounds like defend, because she is, she plays defensive. She plays as a fullback, and she does great at it. And I was just hoping that it was Tiefend so it could sound like defend.
Sometimes dreams come true.
And they always seem to at Detroit City FC. As Isabella Sabo is going to be played in off the boards, and now in front, a great goal line clearance by the visitors.
That was a great sequence between Tatiana Mason and Bella Sabo. Really deserved a goal there.
Fatima Nasser's going to play it back to Shannon McCarthy. Shannon McCarthy's looking for options up the pitch. Finds Amanda Britton to her right. Amanda Britton's going to dribble in some space before laying it off to Sabo. Sabo has it taken away from her, up against the boards. Getting physical down there with Amanda Britton, and the referee's going to make a decision. It's going to go against Amanda Britton. And just a little bit of some pressure off of the gas for Indiana United.
Yeah, a little break for them. I think in those situations, the ref's got to blow the whistle. And it's like, I don't know how you make a decision there.
Because, we talk about 50-50s in the outdoor game, but indoors, I mean, it's so physical that if someone goes down, A, it's going to be a foul, but B, like you said, which way do you call it?
Yep.
And I think because if you give it to Detroit City FC there, it's almost like a goal-scoring opportunity with how they do the thing. So maybe it's just a tough position for the referees to be in.
It's like the path of least resistance is to just give it going the other way.
Tatiana Mason now looking to get a goal here before the first quarter comes to an end. She's going to go for the strike, and it was a little bit of a bobbled catch there, but a catch nonetheless for the Indiana United goalkeeper, and that will bring a close to the first quarter of action from the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Tied up at 2-2, Dave.
What a great first quarter.
It was.
Super exciting.
It was. Very competitive. We saw some phenomenal goals. It's been an incredible first quarter. Which team so far has impressed you more in the first 15 minutes?
I think each team has been impressive in a different way. I think in terms of quality of play and creating goal-scoring chances, Detroit City has carried the game. But in terms of sort of courage and character, I think you got to tip your hat to Indiana taking an early lead, staying in it, equalizing again, being really tough to break down, and you know, maybe getting a little fortunate with a few goal line clearances, but they're showing the feistiness of a team that's going to stick around and make this tough for Detroit.
Yeah, and the fight from Indiana has really been great. I mean, obviously, the way this league works, they would have traveled today. They would have been in a car for hours coming up here, and then they're coming into an environment that they never would have played in before. So to come out, get the first goal, and then go down and then get the equalizer just shows a ton of fight from them. On the other side of the coin, Detroit City FC, when they've played their football, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had a couple sequences in front of net that were really clean, really crisp, and you know, everything but the ball crossing the line. And you look forward to seeing how they'll build on that in the second quarter.
Some fun trivia going on here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. We are about a minute 30 away from the second quarter of action. So Dave, how have you been enjoying your off-season so far? Obviously, you know, you can let the folks know what you do as your 9 to 5, your full-time job, but obviously W League season comes to a close. What are you doing in the off-season to kind of get ready for, you know, what could be coming in the future? I don't want to announce anything yet, but what could be coming in the future?
Yeah, no, I'm a high school math teacher and soccer coach as my day job, and so enjoying these relatively slow months of the year, and all I have to worry about is teaching, but getting excited for the spring and looking forward to you know, another round of seasons. I coach the high school girls at Liggett, and I'll be coaching the W League team this summer with the likes of Danny Evans, and this is sort of roster building phase where we're getting inquiries from players. It's always exciting to see who might want to join in, and furthermore, getting commitments from players who are coming back and building the roster out, and you know, really excited about how things are coming together on paper.
It's been we mentioned you seeing the stars out at Keyworth. You'll see in this shot, or what shot we had up previously, the Detroit City FC men USL Championship team here on hand, receiving plaudits before the match and getting some FaceTime in with the fans. They just started preseason last week, and every year me and you talk about how fun it is to see the guys coming back, and it really is like first day of school vibes. It's going to be a great 2025 USL Championship season.
I couldn't agree more. And, you know, I do the player registration, and so I've kind of, over the last few months, started to see some new names coming in and hearing about the new additions. And obviously we're returning a great core of players, so I'm super excited to see how it all comes together for this team. And some
exciting new additions as well.
Yeah.
Those are always good to see.
Really, really looking forward to seeing how they fit in and seeing what they bring.
One of my favorite things is seeing how the new guys, like, take on the city, and you know, when they're going out to Pistons games, they're going out to Red Wings games, like, it's just cool to see them, you know, become fans of the city and members of the community in a lot of ways.
Yeah. The Detroit City FC community and the community at large, I think it's an attractive place for these guys to come and play, and obviously with the support that the club has, you can't help but fall in love with the place. You make that association really quick. The people that are supporting you associate it with the city, and
unparalleled. Detroit City FC now is going to attack right under us, which is fun because we get to see it at firsthand. You know, not so far down the other end of the field.
We'll know if it goes in now.
We will. Well, not on that end though, which is a tough thing.
Right. This is going to be our chance to really weigh in on whether it crosses.
Kayla Addison leaves it off for Shannon McCarthy. McCarthy's going to play it back to Eliza Barron. Barron's going to play it forward here.
Anya
a great
Dow.
switch of play from Anya Dow finds Shannon McCarthy. Britton top of the area, lays it off to Anya Dow. Anya Dow cutting in, the right-footed strike comes in.
Can I give you 2 fun facts about Anya Dow?
If you only have 2, I'd be disheartened, honestly.
Okay, all right, well, I'll try and come up with a third. But I got one in the form of Anya Dow made her debut in the Arena League scene last winter playing with Waza.
Wow.
So she was an opponent last winter, kind of helped them make up numbers for one of the games. And the reason I know that, the reason I remember her from that game, is because I was Anya Dow's high school math teacher and soccer coach.
The Dave Dwayhe coaching tree, but like players from high school or math class is needs to be studied because there's a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah,
Kayla Addison in front of goal now. A clever turn. A great job. And Shannon McCarthy is going to tap it in. And that really was all Kayla Addison in front of goal, but a great job by Shannon McCarthy to be in the right spot at the right time to tap that one home to give Detroit City FC another lead.
Could you say in the parlance of the Motor City, that goal was made by Kayla Addison and inspected by Shannon McCarthy.
You could say that. You could say that.
Final approval.
I'll let you say that.
I don't know that it quite works.
It doesn't, but I didn't want to like stop you in the middle of that because it doesn't work.
I was experimenting. I was experimenting.
But you can experiment all you want.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Claire Serlino, speaking of experimenting, is going to just run forward through the team, and that one's going to come in. Mason would have liked that one back. It kind of bounced off the boards a little bit there.
Maybe we can workshop the automotive reference.
I'll let you workshop whatever you want to workshop, and then if you want, I'll be the approval process on whether or not it works. And I guess we'll have the chat too. But
okay. I'm just thinking like.
I want you to keep trying things. I think it's fun when you try things. I think we have a good chemistry when you try things and you just try to make things work. I think that's great.
Well, and I don't have any fear of failure with you because you're so accepting and
good.
It's a good improv. Yes, and.
Yes, and I like that. Going to stay alive with Detroit City FC here. Good possession in Indiana's fourth, and what as I say that Indiana gets back on the ball. I should stop jinxing the team, the commentator curse. Yep. Yeah. That's on me, fully.
That's okay.
So when Danny Evans watches this back, at some point, that was on me. Yep. I apologize.
We're sorry, Danny.
Great job there by Megan Miles, and it was an extended arm.
Yeah.
It was an extended arm.
Probably got to give that one.
Yeah. I still think it was a great job. It shows good tenacity to try to win the ball back in that part of the pitch because then you open up attacking opportunities.
Absolutely. It's not a bad foul to give. There's nothing super dangerous about them taking a free kick at midfield.
And you'll see it a lot more in this quarter so far. Claire Serlino is just taking players on and going forward. We didn't see much of that in the first quarter, and she'll could definitely tell that her teammates wanted to cross on that occasion, but she went forward. You'd like to see the confidence of her to try to take that shot there.
Yep.
Is Indiana United now looking to flip the script and go the other way?
Well, that's kind of like the tightrope you walk sometimes in arena soccer. You get an opportunity at one end, but if it doesn't go well and the shot is hit hard, the other team can often counter off it, depending on how it plays off the boards, and then you've got numbers committed forward and you're a little bit nervous defensively. So it's funny how fortunes can change.
Megan Miles driving forward now. Good to see her still on the field after that foul that came in about a minute and a half ago now. As Indiana United looks to break forward with numbers. A good line change from Detroit City FC. Sees Fatima Nasser re-enter play. Karina Medina comes back into the action.
You said that quickly.
Just a fun name to say.
It
really is. And a fun player to watch as well.
Super fun. I've heard great things about her from Coach Danny Evans. She's still needing to adapt a little bit to the arena game. I think she's primarily, used to playing out in an 11-on-11 setting, but her skill set will equip her very well for this environment, and great technical ability and a player to watch for sure.
Are you a guy where if you hear a soccer chant song, and then you hear the real song in your head, it's just the soccer chant all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm like that. Like the songs I like are just stem from soccer chants. Yeah. And I don't know if the folks at home can hear it. I hope not, because we're on YouTube, and that would be against YouTube copyright. But the song that's playing in the arena, it's really inside baseball joke. It's a Tottenham song, so it's all I hear. Yeah, it is.
No way.
Karina Medina taking on the defender there is going to keep the ball for Detroit City FC. Back to Tatiana Mason. Mason's going to drill past a few before going for it, and she'll win the foul there.
Give that. Good.
That's a great job to win that foul.
Good decision to take the player on there. I think too often in the arena game, you have a player pass up a one-on-one opportunity, and Tot really took advantage of that. She had the player isolated. She's good enough to get in behind her and took a really smart first touch through. And how good is Tatiana Mason, by the way? So good. She's so composed. She's a pro, and I think her. We were talking earlier about the W League season we just had. She was so critical to the team's success. She's a calming force, a great teammate, and super dynamic with the ball. She really has. She brings a lot to the table, and she's just a very kind person. And I think that makes everybody around her play better and play a little bit more relaxed. And it's the confidence that she plays with. And there was a game you might remember better than I would, where she's like, I'm going to score on this corner, or she was going to shoot on a corner, and then the corner comes in and Bob's your uncle. It goes into the back of the net. Yeah, she's got that ability too. I think when she decides to kind of get a little bit more selfish and take a game over, her influence is
you're able to do that.
Yeah.
And with the way the W League roster was last season, her experience and her maturity was probably a great tool for some of the younger players to learn on and lean on in some of those games where they needed it and they needed to dig deep, and a great role model as well for the team.
Great ball.
And what a great ball that is. And that you mentioned right off the training ground, it's 4-2 Detroit City FC, and Shannon McCarthy gets her second goal of the evening.
Yeah. I think it's interesting when you look at the way the goals have happened or the best chances, a lot of times in a game like this when the other team is digging in and making it difficult, set pieces become your best opportunity to craft a chance, and that was really well taken. Good awareness from Tot to look up quickly, and great finish from Shannon.
And Detroit City FC, they sort of had to weather a storm to get things going tonight. They had to come back from a deficit, come back from another deficit, and now for the first time tonight have a 2-goal lead. And this comes after a ton of pressure that they applied in that entire second quarter so far to Indiana United with free kicks and dangerous positions. Numbers going forward. It's really been a complete second quarter from Le Rouge so far.
Yep.
Shannon McCarthy, I got dizzy watching that defender spin her way out of that one.
Yeah, that was impressive from both players.
Certainly was. Anya Dowd as well to play it back. It's good job by Eliza Barron to win the foul there for her side.
Like to acknowledge that Eliza Barron, after sustaining a pretty significant knee injury at the end of the 2023 season, this is probably her first competitive game, certainly her first game representing Detroit City FC in over a year. So welcome back, Eliza.
Great job by Amanda Britton to keep that one alive. Had to be a little bit physical on the boards. Eliza Barron's going to let it bounce, looking to get a touch on it on the spin. Laying it back to Claire Serlino. Serlino shifting play over to the left. That one's going to come in looking for Addison or Britton in the box, but it sails over them both and into the hands of the Indiana United goalkeeper. Good pressure there from Anya Dow and now Amanda Britton. Sort of a 2v1 situation. One back by Dow.
Good double team there.
Dow over to Barron. Barron wants to score a goal to mark the occasion as well.
She's going to, I'm sure she'll have a chance before all is said and done.
I thought she was going to take a shot right there. And with some of the Rockets we've seen, and that's a clean tackle. Not often you see sliding tackles in the arena game, but that one was a clean one. Keeper might have saw that one late, but eventually cleared up and just pushed out a play into the netting by Indiana United. As we'll see a timeout given to Indiana United.
Amanda Britton rode that tackle well.
Yeah, got right back up.
That was a tricky one, and she handled it very nicely. So,
Dave, Detroit City FC up 2 goals now. What have you noticed different from them in this second quarter of action thus far?
Well, I think for one thing, just they seem to be somehow. I'm sure Danny Evans has a lot to do with this. They came out with they almost had to relax a little bit. They were playing maybe a little tense, and it threw them off their game. They seem to be a little bit, certainly more clinical in putting chances away, but I think they stuck to their game plan ultimately. They're pressing and they're trying to create chances all the time. They're playing with a real offensive determination, and you kind of figured it would pay off eventually, but sometimes you just need a moment or two of calm and clinical finishing to get it over the line, and they've done that.
And I've been fascinated by the small tweak that I've seen where the defenders look to be more brave in the second quarter for Detroit City FC, not being afraid to push forward and looking to push the issue. Because in that sense, you get an extra attacker in your fourth, and if you're a visiting team and you're tired and you're down goals already, that's really hard to cope with.
Yeah, and I think one element of the arena game that's unique is the substitutions. You can sub whenever you want, but you never really want to sub when you're under pressure defensively, and I think as you mentioned, Detroit playing a little higher, pressuring a little bit more, it's kept the defensive unit for the Indiana team on the field a little longer, and then your legs start to wear down and you become a little bit more vulnerable.
Just had a great shot of Chad Aleo a couple seconds ago on the broadcast.
He's the best. Yeah. He's the best.
Yeah, that was good.
Chad?
That was good. That was great directing by Davis Foskett, and good camera work there by Chris Mills at the center of the park. That was good. I looked over and I laughed out loud for real. So that was a good one.
Got a lot of good people involved in this stream right now. Ooh,
and that'll be a foul.
That's a bad foul.
Yeah. And it looks like we might have a blue card coming out. It'll be a Detroit City FC power play coming up for Detroit City now.
I hope Claire Ciarlino's
okay.
Oh,
that was a high one as well.
Late challenge. I think she's going to be hobbled for a minute.
Good to see her up at least and being able to get over to the bench. But for the first time tonight, we will see a Detroit City FC power play getting readied for LaRouche. So not that they really needed it at this point. You're already up 2 goals, and at this point you'll be up 2 goals and a player as the referees and the guilty party figure out how to get into the box down there.
Yep, this is an opportunity for Detroit to extend their lead. Little rehearsed power play action. See how well they're able to take advantage of it.
And that'll definitely pick up the intensity a little bit too. You know, just riding a foul like that and that going against you, that'll want to make you score goals and kind of make them regret making that mistake and allowing you to go up a player when you're already up 2 goals.
Yeah, maybe they poke the bear a little bit with that. Poke the Claire.
That worked. That one worked. Yeah, that one was good. That one was good. Poke.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Gabby's got it.
Gabby's got it. Yeah.
She's got
that
it.
was, yeah, not even close. We were more worried than she was.
Right, right.
Megan Miles driving forward now. All the space in the world. Try to get that one on the turn. Hannah Crum. A really composed touch by Tatiana Mason, who throws her right foot at it. It's going to fall all the way back out to Miles. Top of the area. Over to Tefend. Back to Miles. Miles has Mason up with her. Mason cuts inside. Looking to be a little bit more central than she previously was. Lays it off to Miles. Miles is going to throw it forward. A great ball across. Tefend retains possession for LaRouche. Miles throws a left foot at it, and it bounces up and over and stays in the arena. But of course, there will be a goal kick for Indiana. And very similarly to like a hockey power play, when Detroit City FC's on the ball in this context, all the time and space in the world.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to try and take advantage of this 2 minutes. If nothing else, like I was saying earlier, you wear down this unit, this defensive unit that's on the field right now for Indiana. They got their work cut out for them, and they're not really able to sub until it goes out. So you try and take advantage of that.
Mason over to Tefend in some space. She's going to play it back across. That one's going to come in from Katie Coleman, but it's blocked nearly on the goal line. Been a lot of goal line clearances and blocks and shifts away for the visitors so far tonight, which shows how effective DCFC's attack has been. Tatiana Mason dribbles in the right-footed effort. 5-2 Detroit City FC. What a goal that was by Tatiana Mason. That's unbelievable. We were talking about her quality minutes ago, and then she goes and shows us where it comes from.
I think that obviously starts with a real heads-up play from Hannah Crum, but Tatiana Mason sure did the rest. And I will continue to credit Hannah Crum for making a really dangerous run. As soon as she won that ball, she was a real concern for the defender there, and I think Tatiana Mason sort of took advantage of that decoy. But man, what a smooth scissor and left-footed finish from Tatiana Mason. The
second she created that space for herself, you kind of knew the next thing was going to be a goal, and if not a goal, a very dangerous shot on target. But it was within the post, within the frame, and now Detroit City FC's up 3 goals.
Yep, great finish.
And similarly to hockey, if you're just joining us for the first time in the arena game, that will bring an end to the Detroit City FC power play, which you get a goal out of it.
Yep.
Some tired legs for the visitors. I don't think anyone's mad about that.
No, that's a pretty good deal.
Sabo now on the ball. Still a ton of space for Detroit City FC.
What a run.
A great ball from Shannon McCarthy. Oh! That one's all the way, and it's just Karina Medina unable to poke that one in.
That was really well worked from Detroit.
But that was probably the best build-up we've seen from Detroit City FC, and 9 times out of 10 that results in a goal.
Yep.
But a great job by Karina Medina to be in that position, but Detroit City FC still on the attack. She wants that one back, and she gets that one back.
Finish to the tough one.
Karina Medina rectifying the mistake she made previous and gives Detroit City FC a 4-goal lead.
What a finish. And as you pointed out, like she was right there before for a would-be tap-in. I love the fact that Shannon McCarthy made the extra pass to try and create a tap-in, and Karina Medina did not give up, and neither did Shannon McCarthy. They both stayed part of that play, and it was nice to see them connect for what ended up finding the back of the net.
And it was so soon after that missed opportunity to see her get back up, be on the opposite side of the goal, and still be in a position to poke it home. That's really impressive play from her on her Detroit City FC debut tonight.
Yeah, well-deserved goal.
So 4 goals to the good now for LaRouche with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half of action. Thank you guys so much for joining us on YouTube, as we'll be for the rest of the Detroit City FC MASL W home games this season. Only place to watch is the official Detroit City FC YouTube channel or in person at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Great ball by Sabo over to Kayla Addison. Addison beats the defender. Still onto it. Kayla Addison tries to dribble around the keeper as well, but stays with LaRouge. Sabo across to Britton. Britton over to Addison. Addison tried to hesitate, just couldn't get it out of her feet. And it's cleared forward. It kind of went off a hand there, but I think that was nothing, no malice in that. I like that non-call by the referee.
Yep, let him play. And you were talking about it earlier, Jarrett, like the way Detroit has kept a little bit of a higher line defensively, they're just not giving Indiana really any chance to counter in a meaningful way, snuffing that out right away and just coming right back at them. And
talk about the freedom that you kind of can play with when you're 4 goals to the good. Obviously, the arena game, the numbers are a little bit more inflated, but when you can play with confidence knowing that you're ahead, what kind of boost does that give a team?
Oh, huge. And I think in a game like this where it's kind of a game of momentum and swings, you want to ride it as long as you can. But like you said, when you have a lead, you play with a little more freedom, you're a little more relaxed, the vibes are good. And I think it leads to even more scoring chances and often even more goals because while you're high, the other team is probably a little bit low and trying to find a way back into the game, but it's mentally that's very difficult.
Indiana now just really looking for anything. The second quarter has been all Detroit City FC. Indiana, of course, they scored 2 goals in that first. Maybe some of the adrenaline was coming out, playing in front of this kind of an atmosphere, but now Detroit City FC settled down. They've done what they've needed to do, and they've got the goals to show for it.
Yeah, they're really kind of firing on all cylinders at this point.
And it really is a star-studded cast. I mean, for those watching at home, we're flanked by the entire Detroit City FC men's first team, trialists, coaching staff. It really is a star-studded affair at the Detroit City Fieldhouse this evening.
Yep, I'm a bit starstruck.
T-Fen's going to throw that one toward the frame. Up against the boards now, Indiana United defenders kind of on an island with Crum and T-Fen having to deal with. And that one went through the legs of the Indiana United goalkeeper, but it's going to stay with them. A good turn there against the boards and against T-Fen, but cleared only as far as Megan Miles.
I think you're starting to see Detroit City FC, led by Hannah Crum in this regard, looking to double the ball a little more, getting in with a second player, especially when Indiana's against the boards.
And Hannah Crum's going to dribble past her defender and have a shot. Really good job to stay on her feet there from Hannah Crum. She could have gone down and probably won a foul, but she knew that she had numbers on her side, went for it, and it's going to stay with LaRouge here. A right-footed strike's going to come in, but cleared away eventually. Tefen's going to try to get something generated for LaRouge. It's going to be cleared out, but again, just an errant clearance, and none of these clearances since Detroit City FC has played their game have looked too confident from the visitors.
No, it's not leading to much for them. I think they're a little bit in desperation mode defensively.
Britton now going to play it down the line into the path of Coleman. Coleman has Crum across the face of goal. Katie Coleman throws something at it, but it was a right foot by the Indiana United goalkeeper to keep it out. To the top with Megan Miles. Megan Miles finds Britton on the inside. Britton's going to play it across the face of goal to Hannah Crum. Hannah Crum on the turn, gets it out of her feet back to Britton. Britton's going to take a shot. Katie Coleman tried to hit it on the volley, but then it's going to come in. That's a great save.
What a save. We had a good view of that.
It was a great save, and obviously so did the goalkeeper to get a foot onto that one.
I was just about to say, and it's going to continue here with Shannon picking up this ball, it almost seems like Detroit City FC's on a power play.
Yeah.
Like they've kind of established themselves in this final third. They're keeping the ball. They're creating chances. They're fighting for rebounds. It's sort of like the feeling you get when one team's a player up.
And you wonder if that's sort of the inverse. We're talking about the freedom that Detroit City FC can play with being up so many goals, and the inverse is that the other team, you're down a few goals, and you kind of start to maybe question every touch or every pass, and I think Detroit City FC is capitalizing on that very well.
Absolutely. And if I can just say, I really appreciate you using the term inverse, another math term.
I know. What's funny, I wish I would have used that term more when I was in high school and was learning math, but now it's just far too late.
Yeah.
Now we're cooked.
Hey, you're we're a lifelong learner.
Khan Academy.
Yeah, you're putting it into practice right now.
They still have Khan Academy?
It's very much a thing.
Really?
Bigger and better than ever.
Really? I'll have to look into that.
You should.
Can civilians just go in there and
anybody with a computer, I think.
Well, luckily I checked that box.
To the internet.
I checked that box, both of them.
Yep.
Detroit City FC is going to go into this first half break up 6-2. Dave, they really turned it on in the second quarter. What did you like from LaRouge in that second 15-minute interval?
I think the second quarter, if you ask Coach Danny Evans, it's what she hoped the first quarter would have looked like. They were all over Indiana. They established themselves with possession in the Indiana half and third in most cases, and and they were a little bit more clinical with their finishing. Just a lot to be happy about. They completely dominated that second quarter.
Don't go anywhere. We will be right back from the Detroit City Fieldhouse for the second half of action after 30 minutes of play. It's Detroit City FC 2. 6. Oh, wow, I messed that one up. It's Detroit City FC 6, Indiana United 2. We're still hot. How much time do we have?
The teams are coached by Kayla Addison and Megan Miles.
Ready? Welcome back to the Detroit City Fieldhouse for the second half of MASL W League action. Detroit City FC leads the visiting Indiana United 6-2. Dave, what a first half that was. It really had everything.
Fantastic first half. Great. And I think before I kind of praise Detroit City FC for the way they finished it, I'd like to start by talking about what a worthy opponent Indiana has been and the way they started that game. Showed a lot of character, dealing with a pretty maybe intimidating environment, and I thought they settled in quickly. They took a lead. They reclaimed it with an equalizer later, and I just thought they really gave a good account of themselves. But over time, Detroit City FC proved to be just a little too much and finished with a flurry of goals.
And if you go back and look at the entire history of Detroit City FC, whether it be arena, indoor, women's outdoor, men's outdoor, professional, amateur, it is rare for them to concede a goal first at home, no matter where that home is. So you mentioned how happy Indiana United should have been with their start, and they really should have been. And then, of course, Detroit City FC, they settled down, they bunkered down a little bit, and they kind of extended their lead out to 6-2 now. And it'll be a huge second half for both teams. What does Indiana United have to do to kind of find a way back into this one if they can?
Yeah, I think they got to find a way to keep the ball a little bit. In the beginning of the game, when they were getting it in their defensive end, they were building out a little, and they were stringing some passes together. And I do think that a big part of why they struggled to do that was Detroit really turned on the pressure and they started to press a little more aggressively. But if you get out of that, if you can break that press, then good things happen. So I think maybe just a little bit of focus on sustaining possession that might go a long way for them.
The unfortunate thing is Detroit City FC is going to just come at them still. I don't think Detroit City FC is going to be content, knowing what we know about this team, Danny Evans, and how competitive this group is. They're not going to take their foot off the gas despite having a 4-goal lead because of how they are, but also because of the nature of arena soccer. You're never really in a position where the game's over,
right.
Despite what the scoreboard might say in that current moment.
Yep. Yeah, goals change games, and all it takes is one for Indiana. All of a sudden you're starting to feel a little nervous. Detroit does not want to let that happen. They want to pick up right where they left off at the end of the first half.
Indiana United now looking to start this second half in the same way they started the game, with a quick goal and a quick flurry of attacking chances. That right-footed shot's going to come in, but into the hands of Shriver on this occasion, who settles it down and then plays it forward to Kayla Addison. Addison on the turn, a dangerous position for her to be in. Skips past the defender, but the touch just maybe ran a little bit too long. Isabella Sabo is now going to apply some pressure, also joined in by Addison at the end. Up against the boards now. Poke down the line. Claire Cerlino not letting that one get by her.
Glad to see Claire Cerlino back on the field. I was worried she might have taken a hit in that first half that led to a longer-term injury, but she seems to be okay.
It is great to see her back out there, and more of an advanced role than we've really seen her so far tonight. Of course, the qualities on the ball are endless. Judging by her Woman of the Match performance last time here at the Fieldhouse, 3 goal involvements on that occasion for Cerlino.
Yep.
That one's going to bounce up and over the glass for a free kick.
Yeah, I think Coach Danny Evans has given her license to go, and she's got incredible pace. She has no shortage of confidence going forward, so why not give her that freedom, and she's really taken advantage of it so far.
Miles placing the ball down over to Britton. Britton back to Miles. Miles with just a ton of time and space to maraud forward here.
Good ball in.
Hannah Crum, a great layoff there to Anya Dow. Anya Dow hesitates a little bit, plays it off over to the left of her for Amanda Britton. That was a great ball, though.
So good. That was some high-level arena soccer there, like that penetrating pass in, first-time layoff from Hannah Crum. Clean as can be, and Anya Dow just a little, unable to do with it what she wanted, but they're going to keep trying to work it that way, and that's the way to beat a team. You get the ball in, you lay it off, you create chances that way, really, really consistently.
Going to see a foul going here against Indiana United, right about the midfield. We were talking before the game, Dave, about where Indiana United's based.
Yep.
And it's Hammond, Indiana.
Hammond.
Which you have kind of a personal connection to.
Yeah, my college roommate, Tony Pagoric. I wonder if he's tuned in right now.
It's a great name.
Tony Pagoric, great name.
Yeah.
And he is from Munster, Indiana.
Not to be confused with Muncie, Indiana.
Right.
Which is a city that exists.
Yep. Both. Oh.
Wow.
There we go.
Wow. All you can say with that one is wow.
Yep.
Hannah Crum, if you're going to describe Hannah Crum's game to anybody, it's how that goal comes about right there. The persistence to be in that position, the deftness of touch, the skill on the ball to create that 7th goal for the Rouge right there.
Would you say that was quintessential Hannah Crum?
I would. And you know what? What's very fascinating about Hannah Crum, in a lot of ways she's the same player, but in a lot of ways she's a different player from arena to outdoor. I would say that's quintessential indoor Hannah Crum.
Good distinction.
And that was an excellent goal to give LaRouge now a 5-goal lead tonight, and she might not be done yet.
The way I would kind of explain her as a player to someone that's
Hannah Crum goes for it. That would have been phenomenal.
That would have been really
2
awesome.
goals in what?
That was almost
20
awesome.
seconds. It was still awesome.
Yeah.
Despite the end result, but still, yeah. Sorry, you were talking about Hannah.
I was just going to say, I think she's got she's a.
Kayla Addison.
I can't say anything. We just keep
is going to give another goal. That's Kayla Addison.
What a left-footed
we were
strike.
a little bit uncertain if that one was going to cross. But the 8th goal of the evening goes the way of Kayla Addison. And now, if Indiana United had a mountain to climb before, they have Kilimanjaro to climb now.
What's bigger than a mountain?
I know. I put myself into a corner there.
You did a nice job, though. You went with a really big mountain.
Is that the tallest mountain?
Probably. It should be. Can we get a...
Yeah, I'm looking it up to my right now.
Google that. But to finish the thought from earlier, I think Hannah Crum is just a great combination of scrappy and skillful, and it came out in that goal. 2 goals a goal now.
Yeah.
Now that Kayla Addison has buried another one with her left foot.
And I'm sad to report, and I should have known this, the tallest mountain in the world is Mount Everest.
Oh.
Which is like the obvious. But if anyone would say Mount Everest, you can find any broadcaster on the street that'll say Mount Everest.
Yeah, that's too obvious.
Yeah.
Here on this broadcast, we don't make the obvious choice.
I didn't get a journalism degree to say Mount Everest.
Right.
Clearly not a geography degree, if we're being honest.
Well, I appreciated your choice, and frankly, I question whether or not they have it right.
Yeah. I mean, I bet they do.
They probably researched it.
I bet they do. It's a bad look, but what are you going to do?
Hey.
Detroit City FC, though.
I'm rolling with Kilimanjaro.
6-goal lead. And to go back to our conversation before Hannah Crum's goal.
Yep.
Munster, Indiana, not to be confused with the cheese.
Right.
Or Muncie, Indiana.
Right.
So there's a lot of things going on in different cities in Indiana.
Yeah.
And including your college roommate.
Yeah. And
whose name is escaped. I was pointing to him in real life, folks, to make him say the name, and he didn't bail me out of that one.
No, you're good. It's Tony Pagoric.
Tony,
if you're listening, and I'll probably tell him about this stream after the fact.
And then
so
he'll
maybe
go back and
he's maybe
listen.
listening to it retroactively.
A future Tommy Pagoric.
Yep. Tony.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I think he might get into Tommy.
He probably looks like a Tommy.
Probably a combination of two.
Yeah.
Tony Pagoric, great friend of mine and a great soccer player. He's a goalie for our college team. He's from Munster originally.
Okay.
Currently resides in Crown Point, and
is that Indiana?
It's
still?
all in what he would describe as the region, that Northwest Indiana corridor where you've got all the Indiana cities that precede a trip to Chicago.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're coming from Detroit.
Yeah. I mean, you're not getting this kind of information on any other. I mean, we're kind of just doxing someone that you went to college with, but it's fine. Kayla Addison's going to receive the ball back to Tatiana Mason, and for the 9th time tonight, Detroit City FC scores it. It's Tatiana Mason that puts the finishing touch.
A great exchange between Tot and Addie, and these are the goals that weren't going in the first quarter. They were hitting the post and trickling across the line, or Indiana was getting a touch. Now I think Indiana's a little more tired, a little worse for the wear. Detroit's a little sharper, and the ball is starting to find the back of the net with some frequency.
And the lights are the lights, the CO2, everything's so much fun in the Detroit City FC Fieldhouse. When you're a Detroit City FC player, when you're a Detroit City FC fan, when you're a broadcaster, the list goes on. It's got to not be great when you're giving up 9 goals.
Yeah, it's
to be honest.
It's tough to lose or to be down like that in any environment, but especially here where the home crowd's so happy and behind the team that's doing it to you.
And we're trying to get the ball from the net.
They got it.
And we did get it, but I don't know if there's a mechanism to then get it back in play, but it looks like we have a second ball on hand.
Yep.
We would have been here all night because they'd have to open that gate. It'd be a whole thing.
Yeah, I'm glad we avoided that.
Yeah. There's only so much time in the day.
Right.
As Indiana United looking to break forward and get one back. That one's going to come in. A great save by Gabby Shriver to keep that one out. And that's the save that she's probably been looking for all night.
Yeah, that's the one she makes, 99 times out of 100. I think she's had a couple moments tonight that she wants back again, and I'm glad to see her.
And it's a corner on this side because she pushed it
to this
over
side.
to this side. Yeah.
To this side.
Yeah.
Glad to see her finding her groove again.
of course, in the Volt kit tonight, the Detroit City Distillery MASL W Detroit City FC Volt kit this evening. Really reminiscent of the 2016 charity kit.
Yep.
If you remember those.
Benefiting Freedom House, if I remember correctly.
Believe so.
Got the Wayne State sponsorship on the back.
Yep.
Looks sharp.
Go Warriors. That one's going to come in, and that's a really good bit of play from Indiana United.
Really nice goal.
And that'll do a ton for their spirits. It's still a 6-goal deficit they have to make up, but that'll do a lot for their spirits to be able to get one back and kind of settle Detroit City FC down a little bit, because if not for that one, it really could have got out of hand.
Yeah, and I think if you ask anyone in the arena soccer world, Detroit's obviously in a great position, but 6 goals is not insurmountable, and if you start to put a couple together, it can really change the tenor of the game. The momentum shifts. And
tenor. Wow.
Did you like that?
Wow.
I honestly don't know if I used it correctly.
You used it properly.
Sometimes
more than correctly, properly as well.
Until I make it.
That's all. I mean, who's going to call us out on that?
Yeah.
But the people that hear you say a 6-goal deficit's nothing crazy, that is going to be insane for people that only watch outdoor soccer. But the arena game, you're totally right.
Yeah, and with the amount of time left, obviously if Detroit scores again, that changes the feel. But I think if they get from 3 to 4 here and close the gap a bit, goals come hard and fast in indoor soccer, and I think momentum can shift in a pretty extreme way.
Indiana now playing with more confidence than they would have in quite some time via that 3rd goal of the evening for the visitors.
And maybe even more significantly, we know Coach Danny Evans well. She's not going to want them to take their foot off the gas. She's not going to want them to not continue to extend the lead, and the players aren't either. No. So I'm sure they're extra motivated at this point.
No, there's a lot of players out there that have not been in on the action in terms of scoring that will want to get in on it before this one's out, as Amanda Britton's going to drive forward, plays a great ball over to Addison, and what a great save by the Indiana United goalkeeper. And to her credit, she's had a couple great ones so far this evening.
Yeah, that was nice.
Great job by Addison, playing with her back to goal, gets it all the way back to Megan Miles, who's going to play it forward for Britton. Britton assessing the options for Detroit City FC. It's a line change in. Miles looking to play it forward to Addison. Never really made the contact with the ball she needed to, but a great touch there by Addison. It's just intercepted by Indiana. A great flick over the top there.
Quick call.
You could tell Amanda Britton wasn't the biggest fan of that call.
No.
That looked like shoulder to shoulder. She just looked more frustrated than anything.
Mm-hmm. And I think so often in the arena game, because there's fouls, there's contact like that happening all the time, and it doesn't get called. But I think so much of it is context, and I think there she.
And Indiana United gets another one back.
Good strike from number 8.
A great strike from number 8. So now it's not, and all of a sudden you blink and it's a 5-goal deficit. And just like you were saying, A, goals bring goals, but B, 5 goals in the arena context. If 6 wasn't a lot, 5 is less than that.
It's 5/6 of that.
Right.
Am I right?
No, you couldn't be more right. That's the best part about it.
That's
Fatima Nasser. Detroit City FC, they're going to want to, now, despite the fact they have a 5-goal lead, they're going to be the ones playing with maybe a little bit of chip on their shoulder, maybe a little bit of nerves.
Yep. Well, and I think if you're Detroit, you got to be careful here, because you want to score so badly right now, and you want it to happen right away. And you almost start to play with a little less composure than you were, and sometimes that doesn't help you. So I think they got to find that, 100% back it off just a little bit.
The touches are going to get heavier. The passes are going to have more importance to them than they did just seconds prior.
Yep.
This is a big period of the game.
Yeah, and this is a stretch of the game that...
Karina Medina with a great job, but she takes a right-footed effort. It had the keeper beat, but not the board on the left side of the post.
And this is what you like to see if you're Detroit. They've resumed that sort of level of control where Indiana's essentially clearing it to them. And they're just establishing possession in their half and creating really good chances. So a good response from Detroit after conceding 2 goals.
And that chance came from what we saw a lot in that second quarter, where Detroit City FC had success, where a center back, a defender, is just in the fourth of the pitch that's Indiana's, and they're having to account for that with an extra player that's not defending someone else elsewhere.
Yep, it's that swarm approach to defending, and they're just winning it back immediately.
Karina Medina lays it off to Anya Dow, who had a slightly heavy touch, and it might be a little bit of a danger here for Detroit City FC, but a great job by Alexandria Tefend to get over to that one. Anya Dow assessing the options further up the pitch, elects to play it over the top, and Tefend had a touch, but maybe a little bit too much pace on that one.
Ooh. Come on, the ball squeaked loose.
Goalkeeper kind of just let that one. I don't know if that was for us, just to, make like an exclamation point moment, but.
Right.
regardless, Indiana now the last 2 goal scorers in this one.
There's Katie Coleman just getting to that ball first, although nice recovery.
And you can already tell that they're playing with more confidence, Indiana, since that first goal, but especially again since the second.
Yep. Yeah, and I think you touched on something earlier. I think there's also just a little bit of an element of relief for them. Like, okay, we're not, the score isn't as one-sided, and then you start to get a little bit of, you play with a little more happiness, a little more confidence.
And Detroit City FC is going to get, was that a blue card?
Against Indiana, I think, right? Because that foul is...
That looked like a blue card.
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to be on the power play here.
This could be a power play situation. We'll see where she goes. We see John DeBoer currently in the penalty box.
Yeah, and I don't even know if that's his job, but he's going to do it.
No, he won't. He's not.
He's not doing it.
He's not. The referee's going to do it, which it is the referee's job.
He's doing his job by not doing it.
And the last time Detroit City FC was on a power play, they got that goal. So we'll see if they're able to, if Lightning can strike twice for LaRouge this time. It would be their 10th goal of the evening. We'll see a player down. We mentioned the tiring of Indiana. Their bench is not as deep as Detroit City's tonight, obviously with the travel, the availability of some of the players.
Yeah, and it's a good I've made the trip. It's about 4 hours.
Okay. From Hammond.
Yeah, and my point of reference is Munster, as we discussed, but I think Hammond is nearby, and so it's a good stretch of time to be in a van or a bus or whatever, and to not have as many subs, that starts to take its toll.
Chad Aleo just sitting there looking at things and making sure everything's going on all right down there.
If there's anybody to make sure things are all right,
I
think Chad's your guy.
Yeah, could be good.
Gives me a feeling of comfort knowing that he's presiding over all this right now.
But we see the Indiana player down there in the box. It will be a power play for Detroit City FC. Looking to capitalize on it. We see the guilty party right there. So Indiana, for the second time tonight, down a player.
Yep.
And you kind of wonder if Detroit City FC, and part of what Danny Evans is going to be explaining to her team is this is an opportunity to get some of the leverage back we had in the game, put Indiana in a place where they start to lose their confidence, heads start to drop, and let's just really make a really positive, I said really so many times right there, that we have a good 2 minutes here to try to get a 10th goal of the evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard Shania Twain playing in-house, and I got got sidetracked.
It's unsettling in a good way.
Fun fact, one of my friends, he's a bartender at Temple Bar. He went to the Louisville playoff game in 23.
Okay.
Shania Twain was also in town that night. So he left the game when it ended, made it over to the Yum Center in downtown Louisville, and saw the final 3 songs from Shania Twain. Don't Impress Me Much. And then the other 2 that are probably bangers that I can't think of right now. What a night that is. You see DCFC play on the road, and then you go see Shania Twain.
What a lineup.
It's hard to beat that.
I wonder if that's in his top 5, best days ever.
It wasn't even me, but knowing that that's possible just gives me a renewed hope and confidence in the world.
Yeah, for sure. That kind of lineup is doable.
I Feel Like a Woman's the other one, and that's what this song is. But it's that Don't Impress Me Much. I Feel Like a Woman, and I forget the third one. But it was probably in my Spotify Wrapped. Just from that experience, knowing about it, I was all in on Shania Twain for a couple weeks there.
Nice.
Detroit City FC on the power play as they're looking to capitalize. You can kind of tell based on the possession that they've been having in this little interval right here.
Yep.
That one's going to come in from Katie Coleman, up and over and out. But it drops right into the goal. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, whoever engineered that, 2 thumbs up.
I want to give credit to Dan Davies again. And it might not have been him, but I just enjoy giving credit to Dan Davies where it's due because I don't think he gets enough credit.
No.
Shriver now, and if this doesn't say that Detroit City FC's in the power play, I don't know what will. In the third, fourth of the pitch there was Gabby Shriver as that one comes in yet again from Katie Coleman, and same result.
I really enjoyed that, the third, fourth.
Yeah.
That was well done.
Well, when Detroit City FC, joined last year, it was the PASL. I had to watch a couple videos on Arena Soccer, and it was one of the San Diego Soccer's folks, one of their all-time greats, and it was a Gillette-sponsored thing. It was very odd, but he just sat down and explained Arena Soccer, and it's cut into fourths, and one of the rules is I don't think you can cross 2 lines in the air.
Right.
Yeah. So
can the goalie?
Now you're asking questions that I don't have the purview on. That's outside of my purview.
Because Gabby Shriver will often play a pretty deep ball from from her own end, and I've wondered how far can she go? Is it 2 lines? Is it 3 lines? But
Regardless,
in the air?
In the air.
In the air.
In the air. Yeah, in the air. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we don't find out, because that would be.
And the rules may be different league to league. Like what?
Lisa Barron goes for it, and that one kind of went by everybody except the goalkeeper. Didn't even really just went off the wall. But now some defending for Detroit City FC, but Shriver's going to keep this one alive because, you know, time is valuable here on this power play. Time's always valuable, but especially on a power play.
Yep.
And it looks like that's going to come to an end. SC will just crawl over back to the bench. So back to full strength.
Yep.
Full strength for the visitors. Megan Miles goes for it. 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Detroit City FC enjoying a 9-4 lead, but the last 2 goals have been scored by the visiting Indiana United.
And this is an interesting moment in the match. Indiana weathered the storm in terms of the power play, but the unit that's on the field right now is the unit that had to do all that defending, and you wonder, I mean, they're probably going to
But now they're going forward here, yeah.
You would have thought they would, I mean, they might still, but if Detroit can keep them on the field, you know you got some tired legs in front of you.
Great job there by Elisa Barron to maintain possession for Le Rouge. Back over to Megan Miles, and Miles is going to find Barron once again, but unable to dribble past the defender. Sabo now in the midfield. Back over to Barron. Barron just unable to find that pass forward into the path of Karina Medina, I believe that would have been.
Well defended by Megan Miles. Megan Miles has so much defensive savvy. You know, she just takes up really good areas. Her timing is awesome. She's fearless.
A great turn there by Addison after a clever first touch to beat the defender. Addison looking to dribble it out of her feet. Going to play it across to Sabo. Sabo goes for it. That was a great setup by Le Rouge, but it's up and out into the netting. A minute 48 remaining here in the third quarter. Indiana United looking to get their third consecutive goal to try to get back into it and you know, bring the deficit down even more. Team and Asher got stuck in there a little bit, but it was a foul, but it was nothing malicious. Detroit City FC does play a really clean game, and you wonder if that's because of the comfortability they've been able to play with so far. And
what a great save. Well done.
That was really impressive.
That was cool.
I don't know. I hope we saw that. I mean, Gabby Shriver.
Yeah, I wondered if that gets captured.
I bet Chris Mills did a good job on that one. Like, she made the save, but then it was behind her, so she just had to back up and like hold it.
And she was so casual about it. I loved it.
And what I wonder is, like, if she would have just stayed there, could she have just ran out the clock?
I wonder. I mean, I don't know.
Because she's not holding it with her hands.
Right. But then you invite someone to run in and be foolish, so maybe.
Then you get a blue card.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well,
I'm not
maybe
down
that's
there.
a good way to draw a blue card.
Yeah. Obviously, you couldn't. I don't think you could replicate that again if you tried.
No, that was awesome.
But I wonder about the rule of that, but I guess we'll just have to wonder forever.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't want to know everything.
That one's going to be popped up into the area that Bella Sabo was occupying, but it's back into the hands of the Indiana United goalkeeper. Less than 50 seconds remaining here in this third quarter.
Yep.
Jeez. Stumbling over my words tonight.
A lot. Well, there's a lot of fractions involved.
And that's how you know I'm, There's fractions, don't call me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to get you connected with a Khan Academy video.
If you send me a Khan Academy video tonight, I will be the first to watch it.
Okay.
I really will be. I used to love Khan Academy. We used to just try to run through Khan Academy.
Mm-hmm. Teach yourself.
And it was a fun time. I loved the little animations they would give you when you get something right.
Yep.
I can hear the noises like in my head as I'm telling you this story. It was phenomenal. And I hope they haven't changed the noises.
No, I think they've stuck with those noises. Cause
why would you change what's perfect?
Yeah.
Why fix what's not broken?
Ooh.
That one's going to come in from Karina Medina. Great save required. And then Detroit City FC was just quicker to that second ball. But Indiana United's going to maintain possession here to see out the third. And the whistle goes, and that'll bring the third quarter to an end. So with that one, Indiana United's got to be pleased with how they finished off that third.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I think if I'm remembering the halftime score correctly, Detroit City FC won that quarter, 3-2.
Yes.
And yet it feels, in terms of the momentum of the game and the vibe right now, it feels like Indiana won that quarter. They seem to be playing with a little more confidence. Detroit a little bit nervous right now. Not that they are worried about the result of the game necessarily, but I think they're really determined to like reclaim the flow of goals, and sometimes that can frustrate you until it happens.
Like, what have you done for me lately type deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to end the game not dominating.
Right.
You know, I think they're going to be determined.
Well, Detroit City FC going to have a lot of work to do in this fourth quarter. You know, in a lot of ways, like they're still up by 5 goals, but to get back on that on the attacking foot, try to get a 10th, and try to really put this game to bed. Because if it becomes 10-4 with how little time there is, despite the fact that we talked about previous that 6 goals is not that much difficult of a mountain to climb, Mount Everest. The time is really starting to run away from Indiana United tonight.
Yeah, and that'll be in Detroit's favor in the last quarter. But as we were just saying, they're going to want to finish the game on a good note. They're going to want to finish with a statement, because they are welcoming this team back
next week.
And you want to leave them with the feeling that it's going to be a tough place to play.
A week from now, we'll be in the same position.
Quite literally.
We'll be standing where we are, right? Maybe a couple inches to the left or right. Who knows if we'll put the table in the same place, schematics. But we'll be right back here, the same 2 teams, and Indiana's going to know what to expect from Detroit City FC, but again, so will Detroit City FC know what to expect of Indiana. So it goes both ways. Yeah,
it'll be neat to see these teams kind of go at it again with a week in between, a week to prepare, and having a game under their belt against each other.
What's been your favorite moment of the game so far, Dave? Not to put you on the spot, but I'm just curious.
Honestly, it didn't end up in a goal for Detroit City FC, but it was that sequence. I don't remember everything about the beginning of it, but it ended with a ball getting played out to Shannon McCarthy, playing it square to Karina Medina. Just didn't quite connect. If that had gone in, that would have been that's the training ground arena soccer goal. And I love the fact, I think what made it my favorite moment of the game is that Detroit didn't give up. They kept the ball, and eventually I think Karina hit like a top shelf from a tough angle. So I think that sort of tells the story of what's gone well for Detroit tonight. Sustained pressure, not giving up, finishing the chance eventually. I
had a blast with that Gabby Shriver thing where it was behind her, and that was just cool, because you won't see that like every day. You know, we'll see goals all the time, and maybe they're not going to be as beautiful as the one that you described almost ended up in a goal, but I mean, I don't know when we're going to see that again.
Yeah, you're right.
What's even more impressive, that was right in front of a group of folks that have made a tower of Modelos and Strohs.
Yeah.
And they had the front row seat for that as well.
Right. That was cool.
Back.
I think you've painted a good picture of that for the folks at home who maybe don't know what we're talking about. Kind of a fun visual.
Well, the fascinating thing about it is the Modelos are 16 ounces, or they're the taller ones, and the Strohs are the normal size cans.
Yep.
And they've the bigger ones are the base, which makes sense, and then the smaller ones are on top, and it's a really good dichotomy that they've set up down there.
Great word.
Yeah.
You wonder if the people that built the Great Pyramids dealt with similar, challenges,
like thoughts. We have
to.
In a lot of ways, like there's not much difference.
No,
between that, because at the end of the day, it is a pyramid.
Yep.
Yeah.
A pyramid's a pyramid. Oh, here we go.
Kayla Addison tried to chest that one down.
The game is back on.
Yeah, we're
Mackie.
back underway. And I mean, that's just showing support for the city clubhouse. That's showing support for so many things to build a tower like that. It's been an impressive night, and they're obviously having a blast here this evening. And who's not?
Seriously,
who's not?
It's a lot of fun here. If you are tuning in from home and you have an opportunity to come to a game live at the Fieldhouse, strongly encourage you to make it happen. It's a really fun atmosphere, a lot to enjoy, and some great soccer.
We got to get someone out here from Munster, Indiana, is what I think what we have to do.
My buddy Tony, I bet if you had to make the trip, if he could join us for even a phase of the game, he'd be all in.
I'm sure he'd
make
be
the
great.
drive.
I'm sure he'd be great. We get on a mic, get a third mic going.
Let's do it.
And just ask him, just figure out what Munster, Indiana's got going on.
Yeah, he would. I mean, we'd have to. Let's just do it. It's a winner of an idea.
So a little bit of a pause and play here, but it's going to be a free kick for the visitors. Detroit City FC looking to get a 10th goal of the evening. When they were kind of scoring at will there for a little while, it looked like they could get out of hand for the visitors, but they've really, to their credit, they've bunkered down. They've gotten 2 goals for their own to show for it. If a lot of people say next goal wins. If that was the case 2 goals ago, they would have won twice. By now.
Right.
Yeah. But for their sake, unfortunately it doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way. You can't just call it and it's a thing.
That'd be funny though.
Yep.
Kayla Addison tried to play that one across and maintains. You just can't get Kayla Addison off the ball up against the boards. You really can't. And then she spins around like that. Lisa Barron's doing some fun work on the boards. It's getting physical down there in this corner of the pitch.
Can we also talk about the fact that Elisa Barron has been announced as the...
Not announced yet.
Not announced.
Nothing. There's
so
been nothing. Nothing's been announced yet.
I'm going to stop talking.
And we're going to move on. But that should be... There might be an announcement allegedly coming soon at some point about somebody.
Yeah. Well, and
way to just nuke that one, Dave. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's sick. Wow. And we're back underway, and all of a sudden, some defending to do for Elisa Barrett down there. Fatima Nasser. Number 91's a really cool soccer number.
It is a cool number. Famous 91s. Go. I only have one.
Sergei Fedorov?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Oh, that was a swing. That was a shot in the dark. But I was like 80% sure, not 100% sure. And people want that number retired, allegedly.
For the Red Wings?
Yeah. I know Neil Rule talks about that all the time.
Yep, he was a great...
I've been digging the Red Wings lately. So yeah.
I went to a Red Wings game this past Monday.
Really?
Super fun, and they had a great performance.
The Kings, right?
They beat
I
the
almost
Kings.
went to that.
Yeah.
I almost went to that. The trick is you wait until it starts, and then you get tickets for like $10.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Lower bowl.
I won a raffle at school.
Wow.
I raffled off some tickets, and
You're allowed to enter that as a faculty member?
It was for faculty. Tickets got donated by the Ford family.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. And they raffle them off 2 pairs of tickets for faculty, and me and my son got to go to the game.
And you know Sheila Ford's watching. Sheila Ford Ham's probably really appreciative that you thanked her that. Yeah, that's awesome. You have a good time?
Great time. Awesome game. Really exciting. The Wings were down and came back.
They came back.
It was great.
A lot of fight in that team.
Yeah.
Detroit City FC's looking to try to get some possession here. It's sort of been a back and forth first 4 minutes of this fourth quarter.
Yep.
But Detroit City FC settling things down just a little bit. You're going to kind of wonder, just based on body language, if Indiana United is going to... We'll be able to tell if they're going for it.
Yeah.
Because they would need to score goals and start doing that soon.
Yep. And I think for Detroit City FC, they're in a precarious position. They're in a great position. But in terms of like the psychology that they're working with right now, you don't need any more goals. And, on one hand, you want to score some and end the game on a positive note. But on the other hand, you don't really want to take any unnecessary risks. You're in a great position. Here we see them just keeping the ball, and that's always good for you, and that's bad for Indiana at this point. So,
and something on their side, too, is like they know that if Indiana's going to win this game, they have to double the goals they've scored already in this one, but in 3 quarters.
Yep.
Do that in 10 minutes, and then get another one equalized. And that's assuming Detroit City FC scores no goals in that time. It's a tough position to be in, but if they're going to start going for it, it'll open up a ton of space for LaRouge down the other end of the pitch. That one's going to come in. And Karina Medina gets another goal.
Beautiful goal.
If you're Karina Medina, you can't ask for a better debut than scoring those 2 goals.
And to look back seconds before the final product there, a really heady play by Amanda Britton, dummying that ball as it went across the field, taking a defender with her. That really that was the beginning of the play, and what a great sequence that followed. But a clinical finish from Karina there, and a well-deserved. I don't know how many does she have tonight. I was going to say 2nd goal. I think she's got however many goals she has.
Megan Miles now. Breaking forward all the way back to Amanda Britton.
You can tell Amanda's feeling it now. She was a big part of that last goal, and now she's got some newfound confidence. She's asking for it.
So a little personal business to get out of the way here.
Yep.
At halftime, someone came up to me and said, "Are you the person that does the games?" And I said yes, but knowing that they were probably talking about Neil Rule, because just how talented he is.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, I was told to shout out Babs from Virginia, because someone said that they only watch the games because of me. And again, that's probably Neil Rule, if we're being honest. But if you're out there, Babs from Virginia, hello.
Hey,
and
Babs.
just know that your friend was very adamant that you got a shout out. So there it is.
Well deserved then.
Yeah, for sure. And even if it was Neil Rule, that's a pleasure to be almost kind of confused with him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was pretty fired up.
That's sweet.
But maybe it was me, and I have imposter syndrome. Who knows?
Either way, it's win-win for you, right?
Oh, yeah. I actually introduced myself as Neil Rule to a large majority of people. Yeah.
That was a smart move.
It'll get you in a lot of places in Detroit if you tell people you're Neil Rule.
Yep, open some doors.
Tatiana Mason lays it off to Hannah Crum. Hannah Crum, a great layoff back to Shannon McCarthy, who's going to give it back to Mason. Mason aims up a right-footed strike. That one's going to go off the defender. McCarthy just kind of on the turn. You could tell she didn't really know where she was at when aiming that shot, lining up. DCFC chants going crazy over there.
Yep. People
I
are
see
feeling
some
it.
signs. It's been a really fun atmosphere. It always is.
Yeah.
But it's been more of a joyous one and more of a celebratory one all evening because of how Detroit City FC's been playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Some beautiful team goals tonight, some great individual finishes. Crowds had a real treat tonight. And I think, soccer's a funny game. I can't really articulate what it is, but I just get the feeling since Detroit scored that last goal that they're just way more confident now.
Yeah.
It's just that the game is suddenly way more in their favor than it was prior to that goal.
Yeah. And we were talking the whole time about how Indiana United's doing well to get one back, and they're clawing things back, and they're working on it. But as we saw a great shot right there of the beer tower. But unfortunately, in that shot, like the top of the tower's gone. You kind of see it to the left right there. But that was a great job by those down there. I don't know why they disassembled it.
I'm ready for fun fact 3.
On
following up on the Anya Dow 2 fun facts. The guy behind the pyramid there, I also taught in high school, a friend of Anya Dow, Jake Hodges. Shout out.
Jake Hodges, and an architect well beyond our time. Jake Hodges making things going and making things tick in the Fieldhouse tonight.
And I don't know if he's responsible for it. Proximity would suggest he might have had something to do with the construction of that beautiful. Although it's different now,
and
right?
if not the construction, the consumption.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Perhaps.
And that's supporting a great local business like the Detroit City FC Clubhouse, which we encourage. Detroit City Clubhouse. To get the name wrong is pretty embarrassing. But
I didn't notice.
To come out and you support that, it's got to be. Someone walked up and handed Dave Dwayhe a jacket.
I just got a jacket.
You just giving people jackets these days.
They're being handed out tonight.
Just
Come down to hey. We were telling people earlier, we get down for a game. You might end up leaving with a brand new jacket.
You might just get a jacket. Not everyone can just get a jacket like that. It's hard to just get a jacket given to you. No one walks up to me and gives me a jacket whenever I've been here. So congrats on that.
Hey, night is young.
Wow.
Ooh, what a hit from Hannah Crum. That's the scrappiness that I was alluding to from Hannah Crum.
Yeah. Which you really wouldn't expect it because, she's a smaller player.
Yeah.
But she's not she'll get stuck in. She'll fight for the team, and that you couldn't ask for more.
And a very technical player. And a lot of times you don't see that combination. There's artists and there's soldiers on the field, right? There's creators and destroyers, and it's rare that you have somebody that can do both so well.
Fatima Nasser's going to play it forward. Down the line to Mason. Mason's going to lay it back off to Sabo. Sabo's going to play a great ball across to Fatima Nasser. Nasser would probably love to get on the scoring action tonight.
Oh, what
Kayla
a turn.
Addison on the turn, and just the shot was a little bit wide, but it's going to stay with Addison and LaRouge. Back to Nasser.
What a turn that was from Kayla Addison.
And you think after we see her do that so often, indoor, outdoor, home, away, you would think you would get sick and tired of seeing it, but I never will.
No, it's always
it's hard to.
It's something to behold.
McCarthy back to goal. Going to play it all the way back across. Confident possession now from LaRouge, and why wouldn't it be up by 6 goals with 7 minutes remaining? Sabo back over across to Miles. Miles back to Sabo. Sabo would probably love a goal at this phase in the game. Shannon McCarthy. Back to Miles. Shriver's kind of just standing there.
Yeah,
and
she's
you got nothing. There's nothing to do for her right now, and really hasn't been really for this entire fourth quarter. The game has kind of slowed down a bit to a walking pace, which is rare for arena soccer.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to how spent the Indiana players probably are at this point. They had to fight so hard just to get a little bit back into the game, and now Detroit good enough on the ball that they're going to keep it and make it chase a little and earn it back, and that's a daunting proposition for
Addison
Indiana.
on the turn. It's going to fall back out to Barron. Barron's going to go for it. And that was nearly the goal that she's been looking for tonight to welcome herself back into the Detroit City FC fold.
Eliza Barron has an incredible left, and you saw it there. She can strike a ball
We'll see sort of a stoppage in play right now. Back underway. Miles just and that's Detroit City FC's earned this phase of the game where they can just kind of sit and pass it amongst themselves, and just make Indy United. I liked when that ball just like spun right there in the same place. That was very cool.
Yep.
Is that centripetal force, or is that nothing to do with? Is that even a math question, or is that more of a science question?
I mean, it's probably physics, but I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
Yeah. I get it.
I mean, I'm always going to agree with what you say, but on this one, I mean it.
I would almost prefer if you didn't, just because like I think sometimes I have to be wrong about stuff for like my own personal like character development.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we might have to bring someone else onto the broadcast then.
Just to figure this out, yeah. It's getting deep with the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Indiana United just really looking at, because at this point I do think the game is probably gone for them. Just with the flow of the game as Kayla Addison's on the turn and a great cutback.
Wow, what a save.
And that was a great save.
What a save.
That's a great save. And that doesn't take anything away from that move from Kayla Addison. That was technical at the highest level.
Yep. And I think we're starting to really see, I was talking about Karina Medina prior to the game with Coach Danny Evans, and she said, she's still adjusting a little bit to the arena game, and it might take her a game. I think it's taken less than a game. You're starting to see her technical qualities really shine. She's taking players one-on-one. She's shifty. She's smart when she doesn't have the ball. It's been really neat to see her kind of figure it out tonight, and what a player she is.
And I think that's a testament to how technical Detroit City FC is in this arena game and how talented the team is, because it's very much unlike a lot of other arena teams, in air quotes, because the technique, you're almost outdoor. There's less chaos involved. You're not going off the boards as much as we've seen other teams do. So if a player is more familiar with the outdoor game, they can adjust well to this system because of how similar it is, because of how well Detroit City FC can play.
Yep. Yeah, like a testament to the quality of the team that an individual can adapt so quickly.
Driving in now is Indiana United. That shot's going to be deflected. It's going to stay with Indiana United. That shot's going to come across the face of goal.
Number 8's a player. She's caused some problems tonight. She scored at least one really nice goal, maybe two, and then she's just very unsettling when she's on the dribble.
And Karina Medina not afraid to get stuck into that one.
Nope.
Give some credit to Amaris Gonzalez from the visiting Indiana United, number 8, having a great game.
She has.
One of the bright spots for this Indiana United team that has had great phases of play, great spells of possession, just sort of in a hard spot with Detroit City FC scoring that flurry of goals in the second and then again in the third.
Yep.
And Indiana really hasn't threatened too much since their 2 goals later on in the third, and the seconds are not on their side.
No, it's tough at this point. And as we were saying earlier, I think if you're going to go for it, you got to go for it. But there's just too much is in Detroit's favor. Their ability to possess right now and not have to force the issue. So Indiana's just not really getting the ball.
It's tough. Anya Dow's going to play that one over to the right to Bella Sabo.
That's been
to
nice.
Fenn, cuts inside and then has a right-footed effort. It's going to take a deflection before falling back to the feet of Sabo. Mason lets that one go off of the boards and nearly is dispossessed, but Anya Dow on a great turn to keep things alive for LaRouge, and then another cutback. Mason's going to play it across to Sabo. Sabo had Dow making a run behind her, unable to find her. That one's going to go off the ball. Anya Dow is going to put it into the back of the net. She noticed her friends right beneath us. Anya Dow, I mean, you're not scoring in front of friends. They knocked over their little tower.
Yeah, everybody's having fun. Glad to see her get one. Anya, fun fact number 4.
You started off by saying it was 2. I said I'd be disappointed if it was just 2, and you're blowing it out of the water with 4.
I'm really trying to run with this. Anya Dow is a tremendous hockey player. I think that was probably her primary sport.
Really?
Or at least, even with soccer.
Yeah.
And Coach Danny Evans is full of praise for the just the knowledge and savvy that she brings to the arena game, because there's so many similarities with hockey. And even that goal there, you see a little bit of it, the way she...
Amanda Britton! I mean, there's nothing you can say about that goal that doesn't speak for itself. That's incredible from Amanda Britton.
Great individual effort.
And just back-to-back goals from Detroit City FC right there. They're that dangerous.
You see that a lot in the arena game. Like a goal begets a goal, and it's quick. Like all of a sudden, the floodgates open, and Detroit's going to enjoy that. This is kind of the finish to the game they were hoping for, no doubt.
And they're enjoying it. They're enjoying it for sure. You can tell they're enjoying themselves, and it comes across in the scorelines, it comes across on the way they're playing, and it comes across that this team just seems together very similarly to how the outdoor team was in the summertime.
Yep.
Which, if they're made up of the same parts, of course it's going to.
Mm-hmm.
There's leadership, quality.
A lot of continuity as well.
Yes.
You get a lot of the same players involved. You get the same, essentially with Danny Evans, she effectively coaches them with the same frequency in the summer and plays a real similar role, and I can't say enough about her as a coach.
just talk about Danny Evans. She's a phenomenal coach, and obviously you've gotten to work with her closer than I have. Just what does she bring to both a touchline and to a locker room?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost she was, and still is, but she was an incredible player. Played the game at a very high level, had a great playing career. So I think she's got some immediate legitimacy with the players, and more importantly, the way she sees the game. She's a student of the game. She loves the X's and O's. She loves thinking about things tactically. She can certainly coach the technical side, but she's just a brilliant tactician, and the way she can boil the game down for players and explain things in ways they can understand and apply. She's awesome. She's just she's a natural coach, and she's got the soft skills as well. Her relationships with players and the way she talks to them, it's really, really quality.
One of my favorite things about where we were able to watch the games from in the W League when it was me and Sean Grogan on the mic was you would look down or you would listen, you would hear like the instruction she was giving to players from the touchline. It was awesome to see, and a lot of times they had real impacts on goal scoring opportunities, on defensive setups. It was awesome to see from where we were, and to see the success last year in the PASL and continuing so far over to the MASL W. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Hannah Crum's going to play that one across. Goes into a couple bodies before falling back out to Fatima Nasser. Less than a minute remaining here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Detroit City FC comfortably advancing to 3-0 on the season. They will see Indiana United again next week. Same time, same place. If you're not here, I don't know what you're doing. Unless you're watching at home.
Yeah, maybe people want to watch from home, but I hope they'll come here because it's going to be awesome. And we invite everybody out.
Especially Joe Castore. What's his name? Hammond, Indiana? Munster, Indiana?
Tony Pagori.
Tony Pagori.
Yeah.
I was close.
I'll see if we can get him out.
Tony, right? Not Tommy?
He could come in with the team. He could drive the bus.
Gabby Shriver's going to get a blue card. It will be a power play for the visitors.
Now, how does this work? Because Gabby isn't going to go off the field, right?
No.
I think they just sacrifice a field player.
Yeah, and it won't be, it won't, Dave, but it would be funny if it carried over to the start of the next game because it's the same opponent.
Yeah.
But it's not going to.
That's not going to.
But it would be funny.
Well, Indiana with an opportunity to finish with a goal here.
Yeah, so that'll be good. It's good to see her get up, and Gabby Shriver, I don't know what, I think they will just sacrifice an outfield player. Looks like someone's over there, but I can't really tell who it is, but someone is in the penalty box.
Looks like Bella Sabo.
I mean, no one wants to be the one that steps up and is like, I'll do it, so that's a great job by Bella Sabo. .5 seconds remaining here in this one. Detroit City FC roaring out to an 8-goal advantage. Looks like it'll be an 8-goal victory unless something off the training pitch can happen here. There seems to be a confusion as to what to do here.
Yeah, like is it you know what? It might be like a penalty.
Like a run-up penalty?
Breakaway something.
Like MLS 1.0 used to do.
Yeah, and this is probably because of the nature of the foul. They felt like the player was sort of in on goal, and it was a denial of a goal scoring.
Oh, this will be fun.
This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a
Ladies
blast.
and gentlemen, buckle up.
We've never seen this before.
This is an arena soccer first at the Fieldhouse.
Gabby Shriver versus Simon Castanda here.
A one-on-one.
A one-on-one.
All the players have cleared out, although they look like they're going to be able to run in. I don't know how.
They're just as fascinated as we are.
This is new to all of us.
Shriver in goal. Castanda on the field. Castenda with about 5 steps of a run-up.
No,
Gabby Shriver well in the net.
Look,
the players sprint onto the field. Castanda's just going to put it up.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
I mean,
that was interesting.
That is going to be a tough car ride home for all that to then have that happen. But regardless, we're back underway. That was crazy.
Yeah.
The rule-wise of that was insane.
I still am a little bit confused because it wasn't a super advantageous situation. That was a far shot. It was a pretty.
Yeah.
The ball was spotted far, and you had players running.
Yeah.
is weird. I don't know what happened there.
Karina Medina's just going to sell that one over to Hannah Crum. Hannah Crum's going to throw a foot at it, and that will bring us to the conclusion of tonight's match. Detroit City FC 12, Indiana United 4. Dave, once Detroit City FC got going, it was going to be all their game. How did they capitalize and turn that into an 8-goal win?
Well, I think the second quarter was huge. It's where they really extended their lead, and they just kind of flowed from there. There were moments where Indiana grabbed the game back a little bit, but by and large, Detroit won in the possession category. They won in the interception category. They won in the finishing. I think they dominated every category. And over the course of the game, this scoreline doesn't really surprise me too much. They were pretty dominant tonight.
And Detroit City FC got the win they were looking for. They played their style of soccer, and they'll feel really good going to the next week's contest against the same opposition as they look to improve to 4-0.
Yep.
Everyone at the Detroit City Fieldhouse, everyone watching upstairs in the Detroit City Clubhouse, there's a delay, but tip your bartenders tonight and make sure that they remember you when you come back next week, and tip them again next week too while you're at it. I've been Jarrett Mackey alongside Dave Dwayhe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're on camera right now, Dave, so smile and wave to those at home. Been a blast watching, and speaking alongside Dave Dwayhe. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Here's your tickets online at CityFC.com. Thanks again for coming out. Go home safe. We'll see you next Saturday.